Hello and welcome. My name is Nida and today I want to introduce you to a company that makes healthcare products. The company is called InBody and we have 3 products here today. They all focus on measuring blood pressure. But that's not all that InBody does. They actually provide services and products in various fields such as medicine, nutrition, fitness, and rehabilitation. But today it's all about blood pressure. But yeah, InBody, the company is very successful worldwide, including 80 countries all over the world, like Japan, Europe, China, Mexico, India, and many other places. And amazingly, their growth rate is over 20% every single year. And I will now show you why they have achieved such an amazing feat, because they are innovative. Now let's see their first product right here, the BP Bio 750 is right here. And this is a very special device because you can automatically measure blood pressure. It is very as you can see, it is rather large, and it is not something to be used at home. It is something that is installed in hospitals and clinics. But amazingly, you don't need an expert at the site to measure the blood pressure accurately with this device. So it can be installed, but the patient can use it all on their own without an expert at the site. And I will show you how to do that in a second. First, let's look over here. So it tells you how to use the device. So you put your arm in here, and I will show you in a second. And it tells you, number 1, place your elbow inside of this hole here, and then if you position your elbow correctly, this LED light here, the LED light, will turn blue, and if you do not position it correctly, it will not be able to be started. Now that's a really nice way to make sure we get accurate measurements. I will show you how that works now. Let me turn that away from you so I can use it. It turned blue and I can now press the start button. Now obviously I am moving right now and I am talking to you, but if I was using this properly in a hospital setting, I would not be moving or talking while this measures. And this is going to take just a little bit of time to measure, but it's very fast, so don't you worry. It takes only between 20 to 50 seconds to get a measurement. Now let's let it do it. And done! And we get our little printout. As you can see, right here. It just printed out my results, and we have very detailed measurements. Now these are obviously not correct as I was moving and talking, but as you can see, we have all kinds of measurements that our doctor can use to give us an accurate reading of our health status. It not only gives you this paper, but it also gives you the result on the display, as well as it can send the result to the hospital system where it is installed. Now this machine can be installed in all kinds of hospitals and can be integrated in the systems that are already in place. And let me tell you one thing, while my arm was in there, it did not hurt at all because it uses a very special method, upward pressurization method, that's what it's called, to make sure that the arm is very comfortable and there is no excessive pressure on it. And yeah, this device is already used in many different countries and very popular because it is very effective and doctors really like it. So yes, how would we use it? As I said, you would sit on a chair and make sure that your arm is in there and you would not be talking while you use it. But also, you would need to take a rest. So if you are running and then you sit down and you use this machine, that's not a good idea. So ideally, you would sit down and maybe take a 5-minute break, and then you would start using the machine to make sure that your heart rate is constant. Yes. And yes, we have a doctor evaluation for this product. We have asked several doctors what they think about these products in actual use, everyday life at the hospital, and the doctors have said that this is a very nice product to have because it is very accurate and you don't need an expert at the site to use it, so it can save valuable time in a busy hospital setting. Yes, so yeah, this is the BP Bio 750. Now let's look at 2 other products that we have over here. This is the BP Bio 250. This is a professional device that we don't use at home. This is used by doctors in a hospital, or a nurse can administer this, and it is a blood pressure measuring device, but very special. It has 5 modes that I will show you now. As you can see, if I start it and I go mode, hello, and I can change the modes. As you can see, we have several modes, like a normal mode, or this one is the oscillate mode, which allows doctors to use this together with a stethoscope to actually hear the blood pressure. Then we have this cycle mode, which allows several measurements to see the blood pressure over time. And yes, or a height measure, which actually takes into account psychological effects that happen when a patient is in contact with a doctor or a nurse. Yeah, so this is a very, very special device in that way. It is very popular with doctors because they have given feedback and they have said that it has brought them a very nice advantage because they can use the measuring modes for any certain situation. It is not just a standard measuring device, but they can really see what do I need in this particular instance and what do I want to use. Now this also comes in 3 sizes to ensure that it is always correct with the patient's arm size, but it also has something else that is very special that is called a one touch, and I will show you that on this device. But let's first talk about this. What is this? This is the at-home version of all this. This is the BP Bio 170. It is used at home. Why do you need to measure your blood pressure at home? Well, because did you know that 1/3 of the world population actually has blood pressure issues? 1/3, that's a really large number, but unfortunately only half of that 1/3 know that they have these issues. So you can imagine that getting a hold on those issues could be very important for your and your family's health and safety. Now, with small habits like changing your blood measuring routines, you can really make sure to stay one step ahead of any diseases. Now let's look at this device. The special one touch that I talked about before is actually in here in this arm. I would use it like this. I'm going to put this on my arm 2 centimeters above my elbow joint, like this, and then I would, as you can see, there is a little arrow over here, and that indicates that this is the correct position. Now you can hear the one touch sound in a second. There we go, that's the one touch. Very easy, and it's firmly on my arm now, and I just close it like this. And then I can start it up like so. And again, if I was actually measuring, I would not be talking, I would not be moving, but that's not really important right now for our demonstration purposes. So yeah, what is really special about this? First of all, the design is amazing. It has a really big display, so even if somebody who's using it who's elderly can make sure that they can see the number accurately. And also we have another very special point, which, as you can see here, M1 and M2. And that means that you can actually register 2 users for this device. So let's say you're taking care of both parents and you want to make sure that you can have readings for both of them and save them. So the mother could be M1, the father could be M2, and we can save up to 100 entries on each person inside this device. Now that's pretty handy. We have also a reference for this device. The user that used it for their parents said that it was very nice and useful, and it gave very accurate measurements, and they really liked that they could save the 2 different users in this device. Now, all of these products have ESH certification, which is the European Society of Hypertension certification, and it's very hard to get. This is the certification that you really want to make sure that your products are working in this field, and they're actually the first in Korea to get their certificate. So that's something to really take notice of. And also they have many Korean certifications, and yeah, so you can be sure that you get products that actually work for you. I want to thank you for your attention in listening to InBody products, and goodbye.